Welcome to another episode of High Proof Ashes. I am one of your co-hosts, Jason JB Smoke. And of course, over to my right, my partner.
It's the lazy eye bourbon guy.
That's right.
Or Mr. No Cool nickname.
We gotta pick one.
Yeah. I don't have to pick anything. I can use both. AKA, AKA, AKA.
A lot of AKAs.
Yeah, a bunch of them. Duran, we back in the building. High Proof Ashes. Y'all know what it is, man. We here.
We're bringing some new stuff, as always. I feel like we're always bringing something new. But I mean, I think that's part of the
definitely
fun.
knew this week.
Yeah. We smoked something from the Pravada Club, and today we're gonna smoke something you have not smoked before.
Absolutely. And
But
we're gonna drink some stuff that we don't normally drink.
That's very true. And the cigar, I just had this for the first time last week.
Mm-hmm.
So just got introduced into the brand, and so far really enjoy it. But hey, let's get into this.
Okay.
So today we're going a little off our normal path, right? So
Not
no bourbons,
no
bourbons, no
way
whiskey.
out there.
Well, okay,
they're both whiskeys.
Yeah. I mean, I guess technically, they're whiskeys, whatever. But but let's get into the cigar real quick.
Okay.
So we are going to smoke the All Saints Dedicacion, and I hope I'm saying that right. And this is a new brand to me.
Mm-hmm. It's a new brand to us, right?
Yes. So this has been brought to us by our friends at Scenic Cigars. So shout out to Scenic.
Scenic City Cigars.
That's right.
And Social, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
That's right. This cigar came out in 2020, and it has a San Andreas wrapper with Nicaraguan fillers and binders.
It's box pressed.
It's also box pressed,
which is so you're a big fan of San Andreas, right? You love box press.
Love it.
So I'm curious.
Yeah, and I smoked another version or different line from All Saints the other day, and really enjoyed it. But this one I definitely remember enjoying more. But I don't know. So first time I had this was at my birthday. Somebody bought this for me in my birthday box. I tried it right there. Loved it so much that I went back in the Humi and bought two myself.
Okay.
So I'm really hoping that I enjoy it just as much, and I'm hoping you enjoy it.
Well, we're gonna find out. So, I have not had this cigar. So we're gonna find out if it's something that I enjoy or not. But me and Jason's palate are very similar in most ways.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, we don't connect, but in most cases, pretty good.
We're pretty similar, right?
Yeah.
But for our spirits for the day, so we have an American, spirit and a non-American spirit.
Yeah.
So the American spirit is a Stranahan. It is a single barrel pick, but it is an American single malt whiskey.
Right.
So I'm sorry, I don't know the age or anything like that. It is 114 proof, and
that's high for. Woo.
Yeah, okay. I know, right? So this is, I like to say, it's an American Scotch.
Yeah.
And so it's got all the similar makings of a Scotch, but it was made in America.
I got you.
But
I brought this.
Why don't you tell us what you got?
This is Macallan 12. If you're a Scotch drinker, I'm sure you know the brand, right? I don't know much about Scotch. This was given to me for my birthday. So
I don't either.
We're gonna try it and see. Now I'm sure it's not 114 proof.
Probably not. But I don't dive much into Scotch. But one of the things I really, really like about Scotch is they always have these beautiful boxes and beautiful bottles.
Yeah.
They go over the top with it.
So this is 86 proof. So this is going to be much, much lower.
Which is pretty standard for Scotch.
Age 12 years, double cask.
Does it say what range or area it's from?
Manufactured exclusively in the perfect balance of hand-picked, sherry-seasoned American and European oak casks. No.
So it doesn't say if it's like Islay or Highlands?
It does not, but it's a product of Scotland.
Okay, so we could probably look that up.
Yeah, probably.
And if I can find it, I'll put it on screen to let you guys know what region it's from. But it's not opened.
I literally right before, because I didn't want to look crazy trying to open it on the podcast.
Oh, cracked it.
I cracked it.
Okay.
Right. So
got it.
It officially,
we'll start with that.
I'm going to start with this because it's low 86 proof.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good idea. But Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. Let's do this.
Okay. Let's do it. Get my cigar ready here.
There you are, sir.
All about, because Scotch, they've got the so it actually does tell us like where, but it doesn't say like the region. It just says like it says Easter, Elches, oh boy, Craigellachie. I think it says Craigellachie, something like that,
I'm
Scotland.
not butchering nobody's.
So I butchered the hell out of that. Sorry.
There's some country out there that's about to be pissed off.
So we can do a healthy pour of that because it's kind of low proof.
I didn't do a healthy pour because I'm worried I might not like it. So,
Oh, I guess that's true. But so we're talking like there's smoky, there's peaty,
yeah.
and then I think there's other stuff. But I have found that the smoky ones I actually kind of enjoy.
I don't mind the smoky. The peaty scotches, they worry me. Like,
Yes, and
so
you can usually
you can
smell
smell it. That is not it.
Hey,
That smells very good.
that actually smells pretty good. It's got a way more aroma than I'm used to with a Scotch.
The peatiness is not there,
No,
so
it's
I
not.
might be okay. I don't like. So I guess you would say like what is it? Speyside?
I'm not, man. Don't give me the line. Don't give me the line.
Right, like that's what it's called. I think it's.
I mean, that's one of the names, yes, but I don't know. I don't know which is which.
I was gonna say if I had to drink one, it would be that, right? Like Speyside.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get started on this cigar, and then no, I'm gonna do the Scotch first.
I was gonna say I'm
do the
gonna
Scotch
I'm gonna
first.
have the Scotch first because I want to.
Okay. I can. It's still not me.
No, but that's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Just not.
I will give it this: the flavors aren't weak.
No.
Like a lot of Scotches, the flavors are kind of muted and they're kind of weak.
So here, I hate to say this out loud. This is better than an 86 proof bourbon. There's more flavor.
There is a lot more flavor,
more complexity.
Yeah, I agree with
right?
you.
So I would rather drink this than an 86 proof bourbon.
Okay.
Now that might not be said for every other Scotch. I don't know, right? Like,
right. Well, I've had some
this
Scotches.
specific Scotch,
yeah,
is on my first impression. I would rather have that than an 86 proof bourbon.
This is surprisingly enjoyable for
It is.
for someone like me that just loves bourbon.
I agree. We'll see how it tastes after the cigar.
I really enjoy the aroma on it though. Like that's wow. Okay. Ooh, we need to cut a little bit more. A little bit more cut. Yeah, there we go.
That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Like some woodsy notes, some man, I don't know, that's complex on a foot light.
I know. That's nice.
There's a lot of flavor, right? And enough strength to back it up.
But not overly strong.
No.
The strength is not overpowering the flavor. And this is just, I mean, we're literally in the foot. So,
but it was a flavor burst as soon as I lit it. So, that's always nice, right? Like, especially for a new cigar that I've never tried before. Let's see.
like the retro on it it's very pleasant. It's not nothing, but it's also not singe the nose hairs.
It's very light on the retro.
It is, but I'm okay with that. Like I don't like it when the retro is so much where it's like you can't even do a full retro. Like you have to because it's just so strong. It's just a pleasant accompaniment to the rest of the flavors you get from a normal draw.
I tell you this, like smoke production is great. I mean, construction looks good so far.
So a little history I read up on the company, just a little bit. So the guy who started the company started with two friends of his, but the main guy, he was an intern on Capitol Hill,
Okay.
and
Didn't
worked.
like it.
Well, I don't know that he didn't like it, but he used to. It doesn't say that or not, but he used to go at the congressman that he worked for would send him to a local cigar shop, and to buy him cigars, and that turned into a job at that cigar shop,
Okay.
which then turned into being like sales reps and that sort of thing for actual cigar companies like Davidoff and CAO. Um, and then I guess he got a wild hair and said, I'm gonna get out of cigars and go back into,
Finance, right? It
finance.
was
Yeah,
finance,
yeah,
yeah.
he wants to go back into finance, and
And that's
apparently
what he didn't
that
like.
did not work out
Yeah.
well. So he decided that he was going to start up his own cigar company, and so him and two friends got together and, um, paired up with Rocky Patel to come out with a cigar in 2019.
This was
And then in 2020, they came out with this one, the Dedicacion.
So here's the thing. We just recently did an episode where we talked about Rocky Patel and like, I know you don't specifically have a whole lot of Rocky Patels that
No,
you
I
rock
don't.
with.
I don't.
I've got a few, but like we discussed this and
We did.
it's kind of surprising that this is a Rocky Patel.
I mean, so just because like he makes it doesn't mean that it is similar to Rocky Patel blends
Right.
that are branded Rocky Patel. Rocky Patel, like a lot of other cigar manufacturers, they
Go
make
to Rocky,
cigars.
right.
Yeah, they make cigars for all kinds of
Mhm.
brands, and they want to make themselves stand apart from the brand that makes their cigars. So it doesn't surprise me that I love this, but I'm not a big fan of Rocky Patel.
Mhm.
That doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, Placencia is the same way. Like I love Placencia, but I don't know that I've had anything else from cigars that they make that I actually like, but
Okay.
for other brands, But
I got you.
like I'm just saying, so just because you don't like a particular brand, like don't knock them from making somebody else's cigars.
Right. Because the blend can be completely
Completely
different.
different.
Right.
So Rocky's trying to sell to a particular audience, and that's how he makes his cigars.
Mhm.
All Saints is making their cigars for a different audience.
Well, so we would say All Saints is what we call a boutique,
Mm-hmm.
right? This
Mm-hmm.
is very much a boutique brand, whereas Rocky Patel is a mass-produced brand. They are making cigars for your average cigar smoker that
Absolutely.
is going to walk in, buy something, and probably be very general as far as what they smoke.
Every time I puff on this, I'm like, yes,
Yeah, yeah.
this is what I want. This is what I want from a cigar. And at retail, this thing's $10. So, and I think this is the Toro, and they make like four different sizes or something
I
like
mean,
that.
at $10, like
You kidding me?
you've already piqued my interest because
Right?
the flavor profile is pretty good on it, and at $10, that's hard to beat. Very hard to beat.
Well, now that we've had a few puffs on our cigar, let's see how the Scotch holds up.
I just went back to it.
What'd you think?
I still think it's just as enjoyable. The complexities of it stand out at that 86 proof, man. Like I'm not even kidding. Like, kind of shocked.
I, man, I have not really been impressed with Scotches, and just from the flavors being muted to, that proof point feeling
Mhm.
like it's watered down.
Yeah,
Um,
but
not
this,
being able to hold up to a cigar. This right here, like, I'm surprised. I don't want to say that it tastes proofy, but I'm actually a little surprised that it's an 86 proof.
yeah. I wish I would have looked up what it cost. I'm gonna look up what it costs. I don't have a
So,
clue.
and the flavor complexity is incredible. Like, if you're a whiskey lover, I would venture to say that you might enjoy this. Um,
I know decent scotches. I've always been told cost a little bit,
yeah, it
right?
won't be. It won't,
Um,
but it's only a 12 year, so like
let's
I bet
see,
it's not
double.
crazy. Like I'd be surprised if it's over $100.
Let's see, double cask.
I'm hoping it's not.
Right at
It's $100.
is $100.
Okay,
It's hundred
so
bucks. Looks like you can find it some other places a little cheaper.
I mean, so that's not bad. I mean, for Scotch, that's a pretty decent price. I mean, a lot of Scotches go well over $100. So you're getting really good 12-year Scotch for $100. Really great flavor complexity. It's not really peaty. It's not really smoky. Um, I don't know that I could really put words to the flavor notes, but it's not that.
Right, right. 75 to $100 is the average on it. So let's so since we don't normally drink scotch, that's 75 to $100. Is this going in the collection?
I could totally buy that.
You could buy it.
Yeah,
Would you buy it
just
over some of the bourbons that you could buy at 75 to 100?
I feel like that's not a fair
It's absolutely
question.
not. But we're bourbon
I,
drinkers. It's
just
not fair at all.
because like I'm not pulling. I have this is in my collection. I don't pull this out all the time
Right,
either. I pull it out when I'm looking in my collection and I see it and I'm like, oh, I haven't had that in a while.
right.
Let me pull it out. So I don't know that I would buy it over something. To me, it's something you have in the collection for variety.
Got it. I like that.
For
I like
me,
that
that's
answer.
for me.
I like that answer.
Like to me, it's not over anything really. It's just part because I'm a variety guy. I
Right.
like variety. Like I've got tons of different stuff in there. I mean, I've got rums and vodkas and gins and you know what I'm saying. But I don't
You
have
got a
any.
vodka?
Huh, did I say vodka?
You said vodka.
No, I said rum, tequila.
No, you
I
said
did say
rums,
vodka. I
vodkas.
did say vodka. No, I don't have any vodkas.
Okay, I was about to say,
I'm
like, I
sorry.
don't own a vodka.
I'm sorry. I don't have any vodkas. But I do have all these, all these other
Yeah,
ones.
I got a
And
rum. I got a tequila.
this is my only like scotchy, if you will,
Mhm.
scotch-ish spirit. But I don't have an actual scotch. So that's one though that I could definitely add to the collection to provide variety. That's ramen. Surprisingly tasty at 86 proof.
So again, I would take this over a lot of 86 proof bourbons. My issue being the price point.
Of course. And I agree with you on the whole like over 80. I wouldn't pick an 86 proof over that. That's surprisingly tasty at 86. But
But
the price
but
is
at the price point, so let's just say we go low end and it costs $75. I'm gonna drink some Penelope barrel strength.
yeah, like it I feel like you can't really compare it because the price point of scotch is in a whole nother realm.
Yeah. Buzzard Brew cigar rye.
Yeah, like
Like they're just things that I would.
yeah. Again, I would have it for variety's sake and nothing else. So that's where I am.
Okay.
All right, so I think we're past the foot. So where are you at on this, man?
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm trying to be better on the podcast about smoking too fast, man. Like I feel
They're
like I just power through cigars and that's not what most people are gonna do. So,
not. They're not.
but I very much like the smoke production. Um, I could stand with the flavor profile on this. I could stand it to be just a bit stronger.
Okay.
I could take it a bit stronger, right?
Okay.
Pause.
I think this is the
Uh,
strongest cigar that they make. I think.
really?
I think so.
Okay.
Like just kind of looking at their
It's top end medium, top end medium body.
yeah. And I think that's what they said. It was a medium bodied cigar. I would definitely agree with you that it's top end medium. I wouldn't put it in the middle.
No.
But for the flavors, I think that's where it should be, the
Mhm.
strength. But yeah,
Good smoke production, right? Like the construction has held up well up to this point. Got a little bit of a weird burn, but nothing that I haven't seen on other cigars. And partially, I think that happens to me because I smoke so fast. So,
yeah,
but I'll jump into this band, man. Like this thing looks like, uh, honestly, like it should be like a family, you know,
a crest.
a family crest, bro. Like this thing is intricate. I don't know what those colors are. Like gold and black. Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
yep.
All right, gold and black. I mean, this is a beautiful band. I'm not even gonna front. It's a double band. Um, you know, there's a lot going on. Even though it looks very simplistic, there's still just a lot going on. I can't read them little bitty ass words. All Saints, um,
Fine cigars.
fine cigars.
Yeah,
Okay, so
and then we
looks
got
like a family crest.
yeah, and then we got some
Uh,
Latin, I think,
you
on the
know,
side here.
we're in Bradley County, so this looks like a Bradley, band. You got gold, you've got black, you've got white. Um, but I mean, it's impressive looking. Like if it was in a cigar lounge, I had never seen it before, never smoked it before. It would definitely pique my interest. The Dedicacion, like, I mean, that's a beautiful little way of putting that on there as well. Uh, I like it. I like it a lot, actually. Um, it stands out more than some of the other cigars that we've seen.
Mhm.
So the bands on this are quite impressive. It's simplistic but intricate all at the same time.
Right. So, we get this at Scenic, right? I got this at Scenic,
Uh
and
huh.
and I'm sure it's obviously going to be available all over the place. But you know, Scenic Cigars is even they're relatively new, and when you go into a cigar lounge or a building, and you're going to go into the humidor,
Hmm.
you're likely going to get one of two experiences,
Yep.
and Scenic is kind of a
It's a
merging,
hybrid.
yeah,
It's a hybrid of the both.
yeah, it's
Like,
kind of a merging of the two, right? So,
so the two that we're talking about is escorted or not escorted,
right,
right? So
right.
escorted into a
And
humidor.
escorted to the point where you don't get to touch the
You don't get to
cigars.
touch the cigars. They pick the cigars up for you. Like you go, oh, I like that one, and they pick it up and do their thing, or you know
Free
just
reign.
run in there, get what you want, come back out, and I'll see you at the counter.
That's right.
See you at the register.
That's right.
Scenic is a hybrid of both.
It
You don't know
is.
what you're gonna get either way.
Like, so they go in there with you, but not with a tray, and like it's not like you can't touch the cigars.
Right.
Right? So they're in there as a tobacconist
Mhm.
to help you decide what you're going to get.
So
And I think that's really
just for a
interesting.
second before we go any further, let me give you some cigar etiquette. Don't touch the top of a cigar.
The head.
Don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, don't touch the cigar. Like,
I mean,
like if I get it that sometimes you're going to pick one up and
some
be like,
people are
I
gonna
want
pick them
this.
up,
I
right?
know, but if you know you're not going to buy it, don't pick it up.
Yeah, like if that's not something you're gonna buy, don't pick it up, right?
Yeah, don't pick
If
it
you're
up.
considering buying it and you do pick it up, don't touch the top. I'm gonna put that in my mouth. Pause. It's cigar etiquette 101. Don't touch where I'm gonna cut the cigar, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and I understand that these are handmade. They went through 1,000 hands and all that stuff. But I don't ever want to see you in a cigar lounge touching on top of the cigar. I don't know where you've been. I don't know where the manufacturers have been either. But like, I can't see that. I can see you. I can see you touching the top of that cigar, and it's gross. Don't do it. Okay,
I love it.
just don't do it.
But
Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
so I mean, it's an interesting experience, right? So with Scenic, it's like you say, it's like a hybrid where it's they're in there as a tobacconist to help you choose, but you are in essence free reign. It's just they're kind of just there, you know what I'm saying? And they're there to answer questions and help with suggestions. That's really what they're there for. I don't think that they're there for any other kind of like preventative, if you will,
Oh, so they're
thing.
not there to keep you from stealing.
Right. I don't. I mean,
I
so
want you to test that next time we in there. Just stick something in your pocket and see what happens.
so I
See if
think
Rob body slam you
I
on
think
this.
it's a bonus, right? I think it's just an added bonus because they're in there. But they're not in there the whole time sometimes. Sometimes they just go ahead and leave and they're just like, hey, just come see me when you're
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
So I don't think that's the main purpose. I
Mhm.
think that's just obviously they're there, they're in there, so they're going to be able to stop theft. But so then you've got our local lounge, OCL, that is pretty much like free reign. You just
Yeah,
kind of go in there and now let me clarify. They're like that with us because we're regulars.
yeah.
I think if someone walks in on the street,
Anytime I've ever seen a newbie walk
they
in,
go in with them.
somebody's right behind them.
That's
Like,
right.
let me go check on
That's
this.
right. So there's that. But then you go to a place like Vintage down in
Alabama
yeah, and the guy walks around with a tray,
with the tray.
and you just point like, I want that one, I
Well,
want
if you
that one.
mention a cigar, he's picking that
Yeah, if
bitch
you
up.
mention it, he picks it up. But like he's gonna be touching the cigar, whatever, and putting it in the tray, and like you don't get to touch it until you check out.
So how you feel about that?
I, so I don't necessarily mind it, but I definitely don't like it.
I don't like it either. I don't know where
Like,
his hand's been either.
I mean, like that's not even my issue. Like I feel like
I know I'm just being funny.
it's
I'm just
more like
saying.
it's more like purchase pressure kind of thing.
It's definitely purchase pressure,
You
right?
know what
And
I mean?
that's not. Um, so here's what I would like to see in those type of situations. What type of cigars do you normally smoke?
Right. like I'm okay with the Rob experience. Like you
right?
walk in with me and we're having a conversation.
Right. So, like, what type of cigars do you normally smoke? Oh,
Yeah,
you smoke that? Let me take you over here and show you
make
X, Y,
suggestions.
Z.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Instead of, so I'm walking around the humidor, say, oh, I've had one of those before, right?
And he picks it
And
up,
he picks it up. I mean,
thinks that
I
you're
didn't say
gonna
I wanted it.
right,
I just said I had one
and that's
before.
my problem
I'm
with it.
trying to create conversation with you, guy.
Right, but then he's not really talking to you. He's more like a.
He's there to peer pressure your ass.
It's I don't know, man. It's like he's a guard. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And I don't honestly, realistically, at this point in time in the universe, almost every humidor has a camera in it. If you think that it doesn't, you're crazy.
right,
They
right,
can see you.
right.
All right, they can see you. But I feel like in that situation, like he's really there just to like he's supposed to be trying to sell me something, but 9 out of 10 times, like no disrespect to the guy that was at Vintage, he seemed like he might have known a little something, something, but I probably knew more about cigars than he did.
He just wasn't very conversational.
Right. So and it made it for an uncomfortable situation.
It made me want to not buy stuff.
Right. Even though we spent
We spent a lot of money in there, but because we knew what we wanted, right? I mean, we let's be real. But like when I walked into the normal part of the humidor, I was asking him questions about, hey, like, I see you have this. Do you have this? And so we would talk about it that. But yeah, I had the same experience you did.
yeah,
Where if
absolutely.
I mentioned a cigar, he picked it up like I was going to buy it.
Yeah. And
And
that wasn't my thing.
maybe for the walk-in, that's like successful and or whatever, right? But for the seasoned smoker, like we don't want that experience.
So how do you distinguish, right? Like so what should the process look like? So if you had to
If I'm
create the
here, if
process,
I'm here talking to you about like cigar knowledge, right? And I'm saying like, hey, I see you have this. Do you have this? Like, I obviously know about cigars.
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, you act like it's not kind of obvious if someone's a cigar guy or not.
That's true.
Like, for a tobacconist, i.e., the guy working in the humidor, you're a cigar guy. Okay, so you have cigar knowledge. You ought to be able to identify that the person standing next to you also has cigar knowledge.
Right.
That means I don't want you to pick up every damn cigar that I mention.
I feel that.
Okay, and I'm I'm getting a little elevated here, but it's like that. It makes for a terrible
It
experience.
does. I don't disagree. Like as soon as so at Vintage, right? Like and we're not in any way bad mouthing Vintage.
Mm-hmm.
Vintage is a phenomenal cigar lounge.
Mm-hmm.
We had an amazing time there. They took care of us like we were regulars. I would say that they would take care of us like that every single time because of the way our group spent when we go places. And when we
Right.
go to places like Vintage, it's not local to us, so we have to drive a pretty significant distance to get there. So we normally go with a decent group. That day we spent thousands. I don't know how
Yes.
many, but we ain't gonna go into that. But I feel like there was an opportunity for him to ultimately engage with us a little more, and he might have
Right.
got a few more cigars out of me.
You might have. So I mean, it's the argument of like it's kind of two arguments, right? It's your first time experience, and also the experience you get when you get like buy one versus a lot,
Right.
right? And we'll get into that topic on other episodes, but I think it's interesting that some lounges, the experience you get in the humidor, so I don't know. I don't like the complete hands off approach, but I also don't like the hovering approach.
Okay.
I like that hybrid experience that I get at Scenic, but I
Mhm.
also feel like they kind of have to do it because half their stock is boutique.
Right.
So you're
So
going to walk in there not knowing half
you're
the
not going
stock.
to know half of the things that you see.
Right. So I have to ask,
Right.
and I
So
don't have to come
somebody,
out.
and so my thing is like
So
I really want someone to ask me, right? Like that question is big for me. What do you normally smoke?
right, what kind of stuff do you like?
What do you like? Do
Yeah.
you like full body? Do you like
Right.
medium?
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
are you a Maduro guy? Are you a Connecticut? Like what is it that you
Right.
do? Like what do you enjoy? And I want you to make some recommendations because
Right.
I'm not frequenting your lounge, right? So if I'm not frequenting your lounge, I would like for you to come in and make some suggestions on something that I might like.
Yeah, but unfortunately, most lounge operators, managers, workers, whatever, right? They expect that most of the people walking in there already know what they want. They almost expect you to not need help, right? The experience is different at Scenic because they stock so much boutique stuff.
Right.
So they know, like, yeah, you might know what you want, but hey, I got a bunch of stuff you've never had before. Let me tell you about it.
Right.
Because they're trying to sell a product.
Right.
Right. And some of us, like me, love variety. So I want to try all kinds of new stuff.
I
Right. I
got
mean,
it.
this one right here, this is a great cigar.
Hmm.
They stock a ton of the Black Works and Black Trading Company stuff. Like I wasn't able to find that anywhere. And so it was really nice to be able to buy a single cigar instead of a whole damn box, right? But I don't know. Like I'm interested to see what you guys think in the comments about the sort of free reign versus escorted or escorted sounds nice. Like I don't know a better word
I don't either.
to call it, but it's like hand holding almost. But I
White
don't
glove
know
experience,
the
like
what.
white glove experience, right? Like,
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's this like white glove
yeah.
experience. Like,
I mean,
so when you went to like Cathedral, what kind of humidor is that?
so Cathedral is a big humidor. I wasn't escorted, but I was in there for probably 2 to 3 minutes walking around. Now, and Grand Cathedral has a massive humidor,
Mhm.
like it's big, right? So like walking around in there, you can very quickly get overwhelmed. But they had a lot of rare, like hard to find stuff. So after a couple of minutes of being in there, I had a few cigars in my hand, and the guy came in, and was like, "Do you smoke on a regular?" I was like, "Yeah, I smoke." He's like, "Okay, I can see you've picked up a few things that are very good." He's like, "Let me take you over here to our house cigar, tell you a little bit about it."
Mhm.
Which I enjoyed. I brought house cigars back for everybody in the group. Right, we tried them, and then we decided we liked them or we didn't like them, whatever it was.
Right.
But like I enjoyed that experience. It was hybrid as well.
Okay.
Now I have other friends that have been to Grand Cathedral, um, and I've had some that got no attention whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
And then I also had some that were just like, man, like they followed me around like
They
a lost
hovered.
puppy dog.
Right. They
And
hovered.
it was like, and I guess that's going to change by who's working each day,
Of
right?
course. Of course.
So again, you never know what you're going to get when you walk into a cigar lounge. I don't mind any one of them. I don't like the idea of like you hovering over me, waiting for me to make a selection.
Right.
That I don't like.
Yeah. Like that's
Like stand over there in the corner.
like it's extreme.
Yeah, like if you see me, walking around looking at different things, like, and I look like I don't know what the hell's going on, I look overwhelmed, right? Come ask me what's going on. But I also don't need you like breathing on my neck,
That's what I mean.
right?
Like this.
Like I don't.
Like the whole
You
white.
like that one?
Like
You want this?
there's a certain circumstance where I would expect the white glove service, not where we were. Okay, not in a shopping mall. In what was it, Birmingham? Was it Birmingham? So we're in Birmingham in a shopping mall or like a strip mall kind of place. I mean, it's in a bar. I mean, it's a humidor in a bar. Now, granted, it's a nice humidor in a bar, but still, like that's not the kind of place that I would expect that hovering white glove service.
They hovered at Casa Fuente in Vegas.
Do you kind of expect it though, based on where you are and like Casa Fuente, like
I don't
that's a
know.
high
Like
end
not
lounge, isn't
not
it?
really. Here's the reason why. The door is locked.
The humidor door, really?
Somebody got to let you in,
Wow.
right? So like, yeah, nobody's running out with anything because they can't leave.
But wow, that's kind of that.
And it's
Wow.
not like it's a big place. It's in I can't I think it's in Caesars. Uh, and it's kind of in the shopping area of Caesars. And so funny enough, like they just didn't have a whole lot of cigars. Like I was kind of pissed off that like I
Right.
took this amount of time to actually get there, and then it was like the selection was limited. But the dude hovered. It's like, and he was asking questions, but he was still hovering. Like, do you smoke? Like, yeah, I smoke. Like, who the fuck comes to Casa Fuente, that doesn't smoke? Like, if you don't, if you Google cigar lounge or cigar store, there's a million places you would go to before Casa Fuente.
Okay. Okay. I wouldn't know, but okay.
I'm just like,
Okay. It's in a casino though.
so it's in Caesars, but it's not where the casino is.
Right,
It's
but I
where the
mean it's
shopping is.
okay, but I mean you could say that like anybody that's in Caesars might venture into there.
But they're not going to venture into the humidor because they can't get in.
Well, of course. But I guess I can maybe I don't know. That seems a bit much. Like, because I mean, cigars are not. We're not talking about some high priced hundreds of dollars product that you might take or so. That seems a little weird to me. But okay,
So,
it is what it is.
but the guy was super nice, right? Like he just, I feel like the experience I had was just like he gets so many different people, right? Like
Hmm.
I would assume in Vegas you get a lot of the my husband smokes cigars, I want to get him something.
Right. Yes.
So he has to hover to answer those
Of
questions.
course.
But after I, like drop the knowledge, like, yeah, I smoke on a regular, I'm a Fuente fanatic.
Right.
I just kind of want to
You
look
would think
around.
you would back off.
Like you can go stand over there. I'm just gonna walk around and buy what I want.
Right.
And that day I bought $300-400 worth of cigars. Like, so um, but
So you in Vegas? That's like what, 3 cigars?
yeah.
But
But it hurt a little.
yeah.
It hurt a little. But
So
there were things that I couldn't get other places, right? Like so the Diamond Crown Maximus, they had them.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like some older God of Fires, they had them. There's a few
So
things in there.
I think the
Casa Fuente, you can't get Casa Fuente anywhere but Casa Fuente.
right. But like, so here we are talking about all these different experiences at various lounges, and I think the important takeaway here is that you're going to get a particular experience depending on the type of business you walk into.
Hmm.
So, like, if you're new to cigar smoking and you go to a place and you feel like you got a bad experience, just go to a different place. I mean,
Go back there. It
or
might be different with a different
that's
person.
very true. That's very true, right? Don't like it's kind of like when you go to a restaurant for the first time and you order something and you didn't like it. Like you shouldn't count the restaurant off.
Yeah,
It could have been just that night. It could have been the food you ordered.
absolutely.
Like go and try one more time at the very least,
I agree.
give them one more shot. But like it's just that each business has a different model of how they serve their customers.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're really hands on and sometimes they're really hands off and sometimes they're somewhere in between. So
So at the end of the day, we didn't draw any conclusions from this. We don't know
no,
what we
no.
want.
So I think that for me, I don't need if I'm going to a place where they have the stuff that you get just everywhere, right? So I'm thinking like JR Cigars or Cigars International when we finally get one of those, or Burns, right? If I go to a place like that, I don't need any help. I don't need anybody in there because they're gonna have the same thing every day, no matter what day I go. They
Fucking
never
Burns
bring
wouldn't help you
like
anyway.
I'm just saying, like
Yeah, that's a
and
shot.
there's places that never bring anything new to the table. They just have the same stuff every day, day in and day out. And there's nothing wrong with that if you know what you like and you know what you need.
I get it.
Okay. But if I go into a place like Scenic where half the stock is boutique, I'm gonna want a little bit of
Yeah,
assistance.
because I don't know what you've got. I don't
That's right.
understand what this
I
is
don't know
or
what's what, right? I don't know. I need you to have the knowledge of the blend, like who makes it, like what what I'm saying? Like I need to know that kind of stuff. What
I
kind
get
of
it.
profile I'm gonna get? Like, and what the nice thing about Scenic is like, Rob is kind of understanding our profiles,
Hmm.
and so he can point us and be like, "You're not gonna like that."
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's the kind of relationship you get from going to the same place over and over again.
I agree.
But as far as the whole like you called it white glove experience, I don't ever want that. Like I just don't ever want it.
But
Like I'm not in
that's
that
us
place.
saying
I
that.
know that I'm not in the place where I want any kind of white glove service.
Right.
I'm not in that echelon of society where I need or want white glove service.
I get it.
So does that mean I'm not going to go back to vintage? Absolutely not.
No, because we had a ball.
I'm definitely going to be going back to vintage. They have some really great rare stuff, really great high end stuff that is just really hard to find. So I'm actually absolutely going to go back there. It's one of those things where next time I go in there and the guy's hovering, I'm going to have to look back and be like, can you back off a little bit?
Give
Like
me a little space.
you're going to walk around with your tray, and I know I
Give me
can't.
6 feet.
Yeah, right. Give me you're in my personal space, right? But it's like you're going to walk around with your little tray and you're going to grab the cigars for me. I'm fine with that,
Yeah,
but I don't need you 2 feet from me.
I get it.
So
So we jumped into a whole nother thing. We're running a little long today.
we are. We got
Little long.
we got on a little bit of a tirade there. That's
So
okay though. I think
let's talk
that's
about
great.
the
Yeah, the Stranahan. So man, I poured it.
completely different than the Macallan.
It is completely different. It doesn't obviously you're not going to get any of the Scottish flavors, right? You're not going to get the peat and the smoke or anything else that you would normally get, but it is a single malt, so you're going to get that. It is aged in America. I'm not really sure where. I have to look. I think it's Colorado. Um, but it's also higher proof, which I love.
I do
Right?
too, but I can taste it.
You can taste it, right? And so it's weird for me. I love the flavor complexity and profile of the Scotch,
Right.
but I definitely prefer the proof and the punch that this gives me. So I'm a little conflicted here,
So
right?
I'm
This
gonna
was
be
this was
completely
also way
honest.
cheaper.
I'm I would like to be somewhere in between the two,
Mm.
right? That I it's
So
a
what do we
little more
see?
punchy than I want it to be.
So do we see a little bit of, hey, you know what? Here, let's just do it.
No, you're not.
I'm gonna do it. What? We just made an infinity bottle. How's
Fuck
this
it.
any different?
Hey bro, I ain't mad. Go for it.
How's this
Let's see
any
what
different? Try to do like a one, maybe a 1-to-1 there. What was left?
you swirl that bitch a little.
Duran's making a cringe face over there. I can
Because
feel
I
it.
just
I can feel it. I don't even.
ooh, I don't know about that. Scotch and
Oh,
American.
that's a that's a weird aroma.
Get
That's amazing.
the fuck out of here.
That is fucking amazing
All right.
because this is sweeter. It brought some of that sweetness and that extra flavor. Like do 1-for-1 if you have anything left in your glass.
Just
Yeah.
a little.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna take a really small pour. We're gonna run long on this one. Just deal with us, right? Like just ride with us on this. Just ride with us on this.
It just kind of happened. Man,
Oh, that's way more than I want. Okay.
I got Duran doing some crazy shit over here.
Yeah, this is extra.
Sm-
It immediately tamed like the ethanol.
yeah.
I'm not going amazing. And that was your word. That's good, right? Like that's very enjoyable.
It tamed this.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, like for me, that was, and I've had it before, but like it was punchy today. Like
Hmm.
it just there was a little bit of a
Well, you're going from an 86 to a 114. That's a hell of a jump.
yeah,
30 proof points.
so it hits a little bit harder. You can taste the difference between the American and the Scott.
Hmm.
Like it's real. Um, I think the Macallan at 12 years, if I had to pick between the two, I would probably do the Macallan.
The only thing that's holding me back is the price because this was $60.
Okay. I don't know if that changes it for me, just because
And
what I got
that's
from
a single barrel pick.
yeah.
So their standard fare is going to be even cheaper.
Okay.
You know, that's a standard fare. So we went with standard fare here. You're probably talking
But if you're
45, 50
talking
bucks.
Scotch, there's not a whole lot of picks out
No,
there. Like they not
and
doing
there's nothing that it's hard to find a Scotch under $100,
yeah.
a good one. So I feel like you have to look at these separately, right? Because this is what it is, right? It is a Scotch. It's a 12-year Scotch. It's so it's going to be priced accordingly. And this is an American single malt, right?
Right.
So I mean, it's going to be priced accordingly.
Yeah.
So, but knocking out price, I prefer the Macallan.
I think so.
Absolutely, like that's not even a question, which is
More
crazy.
well-rounded
Like
flavors
like
jump
it's
out.
under 100 proof.
I could drink that
Like,
all day
dude, it's really good.
because if you drink that all day,
You
you're
can't.
gonna be in trouble in a
Yeah, you
couple of
can't.
hours.
You can't.
I could do like so now. I think I kind of understand how guys pop a bottle of Scotch and just go with it,
Yep.
right?
I mean, at the price, I don't know how they do it, but okay. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
this is entry level Scotch,
right.
right? Like you start getting up into the
100,
nicer
yeah,
stuff,
100, 200,
you
like
know.
up there quickly.
Yeah.
So, but okay.
All right. Well, final thoughts. Let's go.
All right. So,
We done
final
mix
thought.
this shit in our glasses.
I mean, I like the mix. I think it's pretty damn good. But frankly, I prefer the Macallan, which is just surprising the crap out of me that I'm saying that. But hey, it it's that good. I mean, it tastes really good. And then the cigar, I love the cigar.
Yeah,
Like for me personally, I would say that this is box worthy.
I like it. All right. So for me, I'm gonna start with the cigar. Here's how you know Jason likes a cigar. He kept up with me on smoking.
I did. That's true. I didn't even.
Like
Yeah, you're right.
we're close,
We're dead even. Yeah, that's true.
right?
Good
Very good
cigar.
cigar. Flavor profile is great. It's very complex, right? Like every time I take a pull, I feel something different, taste
Hmm.
something different.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot. The price point is phenomenal. $10 cigar that I can get this much complexity from. I'm in. As far as the spirits we're drinking tonight, I'm going with the Macallan as well. I'm not feeling the price point of 75 to $100. I don't
Yeah.
know what it goes for retail just because I didn't buy it. It was gifted to me. And I apologize. I don't remember who bought it for me, but I appreciate you. You gave me something that I do not have in my collection. And it is something that I will venture towards more because I want to try it against other things.
Like this isn't going to end up in the back of the
No, 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 no. So funny enough, this
like
was
I think.
actually on top of my
Mhm.
bar, right?
Yeah.
One because it's in a very nice box. I can't put it in. So but it's cool. As far as Stranahan,
Yes.
a little punchy for me. Um, Something about it that doesn't sit on my palate well. Not saying it's not good. It's just it punches in a way that I don't necessarily like. Um, Is it enjoyable? Absolutely. It's very different than what I do on a regular basis. So
Right.
I like that experience of it. But overall, the Macallan is where I would be. I think it's just overall more well rounded, it's more refined. At 86 proof, I can drink it longer, right? Like, so if I'm
Absolutely.
sitting with a friend or a group of friends, we can drink that for hours and, still go about our days. Whereas with the Stranahan, like, couple pours,
Yeah, you're gonna feel it.
you're gonna feel that.
Yeah, you're gonna feel it.
So that's where we are.
All right, I like it.
Yeah, me and you both.
All right, well, we need to wrap this thing up because we way over.
Yeah. Well, y'all know what it is, man. Like we a little long, but we did some different things today. We did some things that we don't normally do. So if you like seeing these things, let us know in the comments. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell. Make sure that you get the notifications when we drop new content. I am Mr. No Cool Nickname, Lazy Eye Bourbon Guy. Y'all know what it is, Duran, and this is High Proof Ashes. My co-host to the left.
Jason JB Smoke, and we will see you on the next one. So
Put some smoke in the air.
that's right. See ya.